Talk of the table time. First up, public prayers at the start of government meetings. The Supreme Court taking a case from Western New York after the town of Greece cited by an appeals court for the way it conducts its pre-meeting prayers. 2/3 of all opening prayers between 1999 and 2010 contain references to Jesus Christ, your Son, the Holy Spirit, or Jesus. The question for the High Court will be, does that violate the Establishment Clause, where the Constitution calls for separation of church and state? And it strikes me that you could do one of four things. You could either allow any and all prayer, no matter what denomination it's coming from, allow no prayer before a meeting. You could rotate religious orientation so that every religious group is heard from, or just make all the prayers non-denominational. Should there even be prayers before these?
There's a Supreme Court decision already that says those sorts of prayers before a meeting are perfectly consistent with the Constitution. This issue is whether, when the group that is allowed to do it, the town board, decides to emphasize one particular religious group over others, that constitutes a violation.
That's what they're going to decide.
It seems to me there's some sense behind that. There ought to be a way to allow people who want to pray before a government meeting to do so without it becoming, in fact, a cheerleading group for one religion or another.
Well, you said it was 2/3 of the prayers involved one side of religion. That means the other third didn't. Therefore, I mean, it would strike me that everything's right up the alley of what you're saying. There was Muslim prayers, there was Jewish prayers.
So if it was 95%, you'd say no good?
It's a question of what the percentage is.
What's the
it's not one side. Well, this is saying 2/3.
Why are we doing this at all? I mean,
that's
really,
my point. I can't believe that this has to go to the Supreme Court. I mean, does everything have to go that high in terms of what
somebody filed a suit, the person who lost didn't like it, and they
called the
keep
American
on going
system
up.
of
But why
justice.
not? But we'd have non-denominational services. Why not just have non-specific? I mean, do you have to reference Jesus Christ? Do you have to reference
in the assembly where they have daily prayers? There's no rule, but they're encouraged to do prayers that do not reflect a denominational attitude.
In the House of Representatives, they have prayers all the time from various denominations.
Can someone explain to me, how do you do a prayer with a non-denominational approach? How do you do that?
You don't mention Allah, Abraham, or Jesus. You
mention God,
the Supreme Being. That's the answer.
Wait, you say Supreme Being?
You could say that. You could say God.
Wait. I really want to understand this.
Yeah.
So we're supposed to say a prayer
Muslims,
and say Supreme
worship
Being.
the same God.
No, okay, but we're
supposed
to say Supreme Being.
No, I didn't say that.
You're a lawyer. I'm asking you.
Into him.
I didn't say anything, Richard. I went to Stepanak High School. I'm not, you know where I am on this one.
You just say God. You don't mention Jesus or Abraham or Allah or Muhammad or whomever. I guess Allah and God the same thing, but I mean, there is a way to do it without. Look, I'm Jewish, and I've gone to city meetings. I've gone to municipal meetings where there is a prayer specifically referencing Jesus Christ, and it's a little off-putting. And it would be, I think, equally off-putting if there was a religious affiliation to a prayer that was not in your comfort zone.
Well, I think it goes back to what you said before,
one
Richard.
prayer that references Muhammad and watch.
Richard,
people get nuts.
I was trying to agree with you before, Richard, when I had said it was 2/3, and you don't even give me that.
Stop helping me.
All right. Up next, the thin line between policing and entrapment as demonstrated by an online sketch troupe, Chant TV.
Ladies and gentlemen, this person is a thief and potentially harmful. Please stay away from her. Please stay well away. Thank you very much.
So not quite that overt, but that's essentially what the NYPD has been doing, attorneys are arguing, leaving bags, wallets, and phones in plain view, then arresting people who appear to be taking the items and not turning them into police. Now the department is being sued by someone they arrested who is complaining of entrapment.
I found a laptop at 7 o'clock in the morning at a bank in New York.
Book him, Dano.
When I left the bank, I took a piece of paper, I wrote my name and number on it, put it in the door of the bank, left the laptop with my doorman, and then I took off.
He abandoned the property.
That's it. I did. So, did I do something wrong?
You saw something. Did you say something?
I left a note saying where they could get it, and the woman came back and got her laptop.
It's Seinfeld punishable.
What is it? What's the NYPD doing?
But if that's not entrapment, I don't know what is.
But apparently it's legal to pick it up. You have 10 days to turn it over to police, apparently. I mean, do they expect you to go on your way, pick up a laptop or a phone? I've found phones in cabs in New York all the time.
I find Andrew's wallet all the time.
I found my wallet a little bit lighter every time.
Are the moths in there too, or not?
Sure, but can we all, doesn't the NYPD have better things to be doing with its time than this?
If that's what they're doing, which we don't know, they ought not to.
sounds like somebody's padding overtime for Christmas gifts to me.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like.
Next thing, they're going to be crashing the party, making sure you're not double dipping the potato chip into the dip, because that's
Also a Seinfeld violation.
We need more of the facts of what's going on there. You got to figure. I mean, did the person take the wallet, take the cash, put the cash in the pocket, throw the wallet out?
Right.
Yeah, that's a whole different thing.
Don't always give you your wallet back.
you usually do. But doesn't this throw into chaos this whole finders keepers theory that we've been operating under since kindergarten?
Ooh. I mean, I could have kept that laptop.
Phase, man.
We're gonna, apparently we've run out here. We're going to take a quick break on RFL Recharge and wrap up the show on a high note after this. Stay with us.